What do you mean House Republicans voted against a motion for Congress to decide whether or not the Epstein files are going to be released? What do you mean by that? Because if that's true, that means that these 7 House Republicans, and don't worry, I got a list of their names. I know what freaking state they represent and what district. So we're going to go through them. That means they're literally protecting the people on this list.
Can someone explain how in less than a year's time, the Republican Party went from demanding the immediate release of the list and all files pertaining to Jeffrey Epstein to winning the White House and then blocking the release of all of the information they had previously been demanding? Why would they do that? What say you?
I am curious. Why did the Republicans vote for us not to see the Epstein files? I mean, because there are no files. So why would you need to have a vote on something that doesn't exist?
Republicans just voted to make sure that the Epstein files are never released. Yeah, the ones that's been lying to the Republican voters, saying y'all give us the power. The minute y'all give us the power, we're going to go in there and we don't protect pedophiles. We're going to make sure the American knows what they have the right to know. Then you give them the power, they get their ass in there and they gank you.
The voting has been done and the Epstein list is not going to be released. Did you see that coming or are you surprised? Well, let me know in the comment section down below as we hear what people have to say concerning this. Also, keep watching to the end as we discuss about the right time that right actions were supposed to be taken.
Why would you block something from coming out that doesn't exist? You know, Pam Bundy said that there was no Epstein files, that she over asserted. But if that's the case and there are no files, MAGA, conservative Republicans, why would you need to have a vote to keep America from seeing it in 30 days? And why would you need to have that vote in the middle of the night when half the people on the council are asleep? Why would you do that? Wouldn't it have anything to do with him being in those files now, would it? Is he in those files? I mean, is the President of the United States a part of a dossier that was done on Epstein? I mean, after all, he is a 34-count felon and he sexually assaults women. That's one step from children. Y'all, that's literally one step from children. You do know that. You do know that he had a case against a 13-year-old that was scrubbed, right? And I've seen the documents, y'all. He did it. And he threatened her. So I'm curious. Did you guys forget what he did to Eugene Carroll? And you think that sexually assaulting children is above him? Oh my God. You guys are not putting the pieces together. You're really not. And that's what makes you look stupid. I mean, this is literally a case of the chickens coming home to roost. This man has done so much bad shit that karma is being visited upon him. He's going to have to pay for doing what he did to that little girl. And he's going to have to pay for all the other women that he did it to, that he got away from it with. I believe, honestly, that's why his wife can't stand him, because she knows he's a piece of shit.
Republicans just voted to make sure that the Epstein files are never released. Yeah, the ones that's been lying to the Republican voters, saying y'all give us the power. The minute y'all give us the power, we're going to go in there and we don't protect pedophiles. We're going to make sure the American knows what they have the right to know. Then you give them the power, they get their ass in there and they gank you. Republicans just voted to against the releasing of the files. Check the names who did it. It's on public record. I'm quite sure some of them are in your district. I'm quite sure some of them are the same ones that promise you that they would handle this when they get in there. But all they did was lie to y'all like they've been doing about everything. They said they wouldn't cut Medicaid. Medicaid cut like it ain't shit. They said they wouldn't cut stamps, food stamps. They cut. They said it was going to be no taxes on overtime. The fine line, it don't apply to many. No taxes on Social Security. That's another lie. It ain't in there. But y'all keep going to that poll like a bunch of sheep. Just run y'all ass in there, hit that level, they come back, they kick you in the ass, and they keep stepping. Take Ted Cruz, for example. Prime example. He keep kicking Texas in the balls. But y'all keep voting for him. When y'all grid went out, and the people was out there freezing to death, what was Ted Cruz? Him and his family was down in Cancun, chilling. He had to be embarrassed to come back. Fast forward 2025, the floods last week. What was Ted Cruz? Oh, after he voted on the big, beautiful bill to go through, he took his family and they jetted over to Greece. After he screws your family, he lavishes on his. And when he's asked why he's over there, isn't Texas flood? That's what he said. He don't even give a shit enough to give a answer to open his mouth. But y'all put him back in there after he abandoned y'all and went to Cancun. So, hey, you a glutton for punishment. It ain't much people can do for that. But with this right here seemed to struck a nerve with y'all. Because y'all really wanted to know that Epstein file. We all did, but y'all really wanted to know. Because, see, y'all thought it was going to be all Democrats on there. With the way they voting, that tells you who's on there. Use your head. Stop letting them pour anything into it. If there was something that could destroy the Democrats, don't you think they ass would be putting that damn list out? But because they protecting their own, that list ain't gonna see the side of that if they got anything to do with it. And these people y'all put in there, you keep doing it every single time. Every single time they lie to you, they trick you, they shyster you, and y'all do nothing but reward them with your vote. You put them back in there, they in there, they working for the top 1%. They big wealthy donors. They're getting kickbacks. This is my opinion. I don't have any proof, just allegedly. Allegedly. Those donor dollars mean more to them than your well-being. They protecting who paying them. Allegedly. And the people that are just believing in them, going in there, doing the work to get y'all in there, they bend y'all over without Vaseline and ram the hell out of you. But hey, you like it, I love it. I just wanted you to know. Your party done did it again. They screwed you again. They ganked you again. They made a fool out of you once more and again. And if you like it, I love it. But I'm going to call it like it is. I wouldn't let somebody treat me like a fool continuously over and over and over again. And I keep running back up. Oh, yeah, give me more, give me more. That ain't my character. I have a backbone. I stand straight. My head goes high. Like it, don't like it. It's not an issue for me. But what y'all doing, y'all letting these people play y'all like a fiddle. And they sitting back laughing and giggling at y'all. They laughing in your faces. Because they know 2026, y'all gonna run your ass right back up in there and vote them same ones in there. I'm willing to bet you right now, every Republican holding a damn seat gonna be holding that seat in 2026. Because y'all glutton for punishment. You've shown it. You proved it. I believe you. When a person shows you who they are, honey, believe them. I believe you. I believe y'all always going to be the Republicans' fools. I believe y'all always going to be the Republican shysters. I believe the Republicans are always going to kick your front fours in. So you like it? I love it. And I'm finna get out of here. But before I leave, I just got one question for y'all. Republicans, is it great again yet? I'm just asking for a damn friend.
What do you mean House Republicans voted against a motion for Congress to decide whether or not the Epstein files are going to be released? What do you mean by that? Because if that's true, that means that these 7 House Republicans, and don't worry, I got a list of their names. I know what freaking state they represent and what district. So we're going to go through them. that means they're literally protecting the people on this list. Disgusting. One of the saddest days in American history, when elected officials are voting to keep pedos safe. So these are the 7 Republicans. Chairwoman Virginia Foxx, North Carolina, 5th District. Michelle Fishback, Minnesota, 7th District. Aaron Houchin, Indiana, 9th District. Nick Langworthy, New York, 23rd District. Austin Scott, Georgia, 8th District. Morgan Griffith, Virginia, 9th District. Brian Jack, Georgia, 3rd District. There was one Republican who voted for Congress to be able to decide whether or not to release the Epstein list. So I'm going to give that Republican a shout out. Ralph Norman from South Carolina was the only Republican in this majority to vote for Congress to be able to make this decision. Disgusting.
Isn't it so painfully ironic? The same group of people who wouldn't vote for that lady are now turning around and asking, where's the tolerant left now? So much for woke liberalism. Where are you guys now to save us and protect us from this tirade, from this mess that Trump is doing? We were in the voting booth in November. Where were you? You all genuinely sat there and believed with every fiber, every ounce of your being, that a president born into a billionaire family, born into generational wealth that you can't even quantify, would be someone who would make legislation and public policy that's in your best interest? And you know what? You don't have to answer that, because I already know what the answer to that is. I made a video about that a little while back. The answer is yes, you genuinely believe that. The other half of it, too, that I want us to understand is just how self-destructive white supremacy ultimately is. Because white supremacy will step in wherever there is an opportunity to provide widespread access to something like a social safety net, for example. White supremacy is just there waiting in the wings, waiting in the corners, waiting in the shadows to jump in and say, no, we cannot have this widespread social safety net because there will be bad actors in the system who will take advantage of it. Code for Black people will also have access to the social safety net and will improve their standing, and we as white people cannot have that. When I learned that in the wake of the civil rights movement and in the wake of mandated desegregation, white people deliberately closed down public pools, public libraries, public parks, etc., even if it meant that they no longer had free access to those things and would have to pay to access those things, if it ultimately meant that Black people wouldn't have access to those things at all, they were willing to bite that bullet. It's just a small price to pay for racist, bigoted white people to not have access to something if Black people also do not have access to that something. And Black people also be grouped with immigrants, non-Black people of color, women, etc. But it starts and ends with Black people, though, because Black people were the folks who were enslaved here in the United States, right? Also not discounting, or forgive me if I'm not including our Native and Indigenous brothers and sisters in this conversation. I don't want to speak over your